Today we're going to do a full breakdown on ProFormance. This is part of the Pro series where the standard on here is raising the bar on performance and raising the bar on formulation. So today I'm going to tell you what went into this product that makes it so damn different to every other pre-workout on the shelves in the Aussie market. This thing has 32 ingredients. It took me over a year to formulate. I went through dozens of trial versions of this product to get it right. And the reason is I rethought how pre-workouts work. A lot of people had to go back to the drawing board, and a lot of people use pre-workouts for energy, to push harder, to train longer, but they rely so much on cheap synthetic stimulants. And caffeine is not an energy system, right? And I'll say that again. Caffeine does not give you energy, right, in the way that we think it does. It stimulates our nervous system to produce things like adrenaline and cortisol, and it blocks fatigue-inducing things in our brain. But it's not actual physical cellular energy that our body can use to train. We're borrowing from our nervous system to push through these sessions, and we're relying on stimulants, and we're living on adrenaline and cortisol to get that job done. What we really need to do is support the systems that support us during training, which is ATP. Adenosine triphosphate is the body's energy currency. ATP is what our body produces through something called the Krebs Cycle. And I produce a trademarked ingredient here called KrebMax. And KrebMax was designed to help do something different to the entire pre-workout market. And that was actually support your body to produce real energy, not cheap, synthetic, nothing gimmicky, no tricks, actual cellular energy that drives you through performance. We're not just going to have buckets of caffeine and say this thing gets the job done. We're actually going to make your body produce more energy. And the first feedback I always get when people use ProFormance is, man, I can just train for hours. I'm pushing through PRs like it's nothing. I'm so much stronger in my sessions, because we're actually supporting the energy systems that support training, right? And that requires things in there like CoQ10, actual ATP, which is an insanely expensive molecule to add, but we're adding actual straight energy into the body through ATP. We have acetylcholine, we have D-ribose, we have shilajit, all these amazing herbs and nutrients and trace minerals that support the body's Krebs cycle, which is the cycle that produces ATP. We also put in creatine monohydrate on top, which also helps our body produce energy and produce ATP. So what's all this mean? Why am I saying all these scientific terms? That makes you train harder and longer and produce energy better and faster, which is really important when you're training hard. If you can produce energy faster, you can train harder, you can back up sets quicker, and you can push through more repetitions before you burn out. Now, what is also important in workouts is blood flow. We want big pumps because pumps help initiate a lot of our body's repair processes and muscle growth processes too. We have 7 grams of citrulline malate in here. That's a massive dose. Citrulline malate, which the liver converts into arginine, which then boots out nitric oxide, which is basically opening our veins, opening up our blood vessels to push more blood into the working muscles. We then couple this with electrolytes, sodium, potassium, and magnesium in big doses, and glycerol. Glycerol helps to pull water into the muscle to supersaturate that muscle cell, to superhydrate that cell. And when used with electrolytes, you get amazing cellular swelling. That muscle swells and you got so much hydration. You can train for days. It's brilliant. When you combine the nitric oxide boosting properties with the citrulline malates with those blood flow, with those nice, super hydrating effects of glycerol and electrolytes, you have never had pumps like when you've used this product, right? It's not gimmicky, it's not tricks, it's just how the body works. It's purely biology. It's awesome. Then when we get to the stimulant part, because everyone talks about caffeine with pre-workouts, we might as well talk about it. I use 5 different stimulants. When you look at the back of this thing here, you'll see this whole panel. There are 5 different caffeines. So the reason is we don't just want one massive jam hit of a quick hit but quick crashing caffeine. We have everything from ultra fast release to medium, slow, and ultra slow to make sure you have a buffered release timing on your caffeine that lasts hours, right? We have things that kick in 10 minutes, in 15, in 25, in 40, at an hour and a half. So it'll support you the whole way through hours of training intensely with clean, lasting energy that doesn't crash. And we support that with 5 different nootropics that target the main things you want in your brain when you're training: dopamine and acetylcholine, the things that keep you focused, dialed in the zone, motivated. So coupling all that together, 5 nootropics and 5 different caffeines, from slow, ultra slow, fast, medium, ultra fast. You have the full spectrum of caffeine to kick from the start to the end of the workout in a nice smooth line the whole time. First the 10-minute kicks in, then the 15, then the 40, then the hour. These keep kicking for hours and keeps it clean, long, and no crash. Those nootropics come along and catch that, hold it through, and make sure this thing lasts for days before it actually crashes. Then you stack on the citrulline, the glycerol, the electrolytes. The pumps are amazing. Then you get KrebMax, that trademarked ingredient to drive the Krebs cycle, to put out buckets of ATP and buckets of energy. When you train on this, it is like nothing you've ever trained on. It's an entirely different product. It feels different. It works differently. And this is an intelligently designed pre-workout for the high performer. This isn't your daily driver. This is absolute performance fuel. You can't expect to perform like a Ferrari and put E10 in your car. You need to be looking at things to support the way the body performs. And that's exactly what ProFormance does with 32 active ingredients, a trademarked KrebMax that we made ourselves in-house. And it took over a year to formulate for exactly that reason. So I hope you guys give this one a run yourselves and feel what actually supporting your body and your biology feels like in your next training session. Available now at all quality retailers near you.